November 26, 2008, the anniversary of the now infamous Mumbai attacks. The world was transfixed as a team of highly trained gunmen committed mass murder in India's financial capital, holding off hundreds of police and commandos for a period of almost 3 days. But what I found impossible to understand was how a few gunmen, no matter how well trained and motivated, could simply stay alert and active long enough to fight for nearly 3 days. Well, it turns out the answer has been out there ever since, but has somehow been missed by the mainstream media. The powerful stimulant cocaine, the hallucinogenic LSD, and an assortment of steroids. All these, according to reports in the Telegraph and Time magazine, were used by the terrorists to keep themselves in the fight. The Telegraph quotes an Indian official saying they found syringes with traces of cocaine and LSD at the site of the attacks. The official says this explains why they managed to battle the commandos for over 50 hours with no food or sleep. But neither article tells the full story, which is that cocaine, along with many other drugs, have been used for years to make warriors more warlike. Russian soldiers in World War II drank the trench cocktail, a mixture of vodka and cocaine to keep their spirits high. And even today, child soldiers in West Africa are injected with cocaine, have cocaine rubbed into their wounds, or are forced to inhale a mix of cocaine and gunpowder called brown. No surprise then that the result is a psychotic and fearless fighting force. But what is it about cocaine that makes it so effective and potentially dangerous a combat drug?
Obtained from the leaves of the cocoa plant, cocaine in its purest form is made up of shiny snow-white crystals. The most popular way of consuming cocaine is by snorting it up one's nose. Once the chalky dust is sniffed, the inhaler delves into the realm of a sublime euphoria. The mind is alert, sleep is washed away, and the brain releases special chemicals to excite the mind.
The pleasurable feelings you get, it affects, it makes the brain addictive to it. You see, for example, there's a neurotransmitter called dopamine, which is associated with pleasure, and that dopamine is released in the brain when you take, when people take cocaine. So that's what happens. It is addictive.
But then it all comes crashing down. The bliss is short-lived, and what follows is a manic paranoia, a maddening restlessness, and a severe state of anxiety.
Negative effects, of course, are irritability, restlessness, psychotic episodes, of course relationship problems, because if somebody is taking constantly, they won't be interested in their wives or children or family, so that's a major thing. And another very well-known historic symptom which is described is called cocaine bugs. They start feeling as if small insects are crawling on their skin. Very, very painful condition.
But in the 19th century, none of this was known. Cocaine was used as an anesthetic, marketed as toothache medicine for children, and everyone and anyone was using it. To Freud, cocaine was a magical drug. He even wrote a song of praise in its honor and practiced extensive self-experimentation. The popularity of cocaine was such that even fictional character Sherlock Holmes was praising its virtues. Even the popular soft drink Coca-Cola once contained actual cocaine. Soon, however, it became clear that cocaine was highly addictive and socially destructive. And now, even after an international ban, cocaine is still used and abused the world over, fueling a multi-billion-dollar black market, which is promoted by well-armed terrorist organizations causing conflicts in cocaine hotspots all over the globe.
So, if you don't care about the long-term damage, as the Mumbai attackers clearly didn't, cocaine is a powerful enough stimulant to get you through the battle. But cocaine has only been around since about the 1880s. And while the war on drugs might be a new concept, warriors have been on drugs since quite literally the dawn of time. The ancient Aztec warriors chewed coca leaves to stay awake and alert in battle. In our own neck of the woods, Rajput soldiers were famous for using opium before going to war. In the Middle East, we have the legendary assassins of Hassan bin Sabah, the very name of whom is reportedly a corruption of the Arab Hashashin, or users of hashish. From the southern tip of Africa, we have the Zulus. In the Battle of Isandlwana, 20,000 Zulu warriors armed with spears wiped out a modern British army with the help of their potent drugs. Zulu warriors were given a marijuana-based snuff with high degrees of the stimulant THC and none of the ingredients that cause sleepiness. They were also armed with the Bushman poison bulb, toxic in high doses and a powerful painkiller in smaller doses. In North Europe are the Viking berserkers, brutal, bloodthirsty warriors kept in cages and released onto the field of battle, slaughtering friend and foe alike. Now, scholars say the berserker rage was brought on by the Amanita mushroom, capable of creating a desire for great violence in its users. But all this was just a precursor to what was to come, because it wasn't until 1939 that the true war on drugs was fought. But that's after the break.
The peace of all nations everywhere is in danger. Cannot be asked to close his mind or to close his conscience.